Okay, I should be live and good to go on Facebook, and I am. Okay, so I want to give everybody a quick update as to where we are on the elevation of the boycott, which we have not heard as much from anymore as I knew, as a lot of people knew. The fervor was not going to last too long, and the energy that was behind it was most certainly going to dwindle. But that doesn't mean that the need to elevate it still exists, and that doesn't mean we don't need to still capitalize on the foundation that's been laid. So we're working on a few things. One of which is I'm pretty excited about. We are researching 50, at least 50, content creators that have made videos about the Asian business boycott, and we want to have a Zoom meeting with them to form some sort of alliance for those that are ready to roll and move forward to help us really accelerate this thing and really move it in the direction that it needs to go a lot faster. So, as it relates to that, I'm going to play a brief video, and if you guys have seen any of my presentations, I don't know, over the past year or so, I play this video a lot because for me, it really does, it really paints a very, very, very clear picture as to where we are as a people in this country, our current reality. And it's important, of course, that we keep in mind where we are, so that we'll know where we need to go. So this video is two brothers that a lot of people know who they are because they've been around for a minute, and they're always talking about things that matter as it relates to Black people, our forward progress, our history. Professor James Small, excuse me, and Brother Charles Barron. This video, in a few minutes, they give a very concise, clear, as far as I'm concerned, 100% on point analysis of where we are as a people, not just in this country, but around the world, but specifically they're talking about America. And once they give this overview, which I think it might be a minute and a half, if that, I'll come back and give brief commentary and then we'll close this thing out. But again, we want to understand the importance of our people boycotting the Asian owned businesses, but we want to elevate that boycott into something that's going to end with us having more economic and financial power and control. And a boycott by its nature won't give us that because it has an end date, and we're not in the best position right now to negotiate anything that we really want. Other than them apologizing, which is it's not going to mean much because we need the money to build up our own spaces. So let me play this video real quick, and then I'll come back in and we'll have a brief chat.
We got to understand colonialism. We live in black communities in America are domestic colonies of a colonial capitalist system. And here's where they get you. They get you focusing on racism. And we have to, but racism is the ideology of capitalism. It is not the system. The system is capitalism, and then you have a socialist system, and communism is the utopian system that doesn't exist. You have communist parties and countries, but you don't have a communist government. So when we look at every black community, what is a domestic colony? A colony is when a foreign nation takes over a sovereign state and brings in its military and extracts from its natural resources from that land and the labor, slave labor. That's what colonialism is. So domestic colonialism means that we in black communities across this country, we don't have anything like Tulsa or Rosewood in the 21st century. There's no black community where we're in control of the land, the resources, the means of production, all of the social, cultural institutions like they had in Rosewood in the 1920s. So now we have none of that. We are over $1 trillion consumer market, and yet we have no community in the country that looks anything like Rosewood or Tulsa of the 1920s. And here we are in 2023. So
Let me put a
when you
slick
go ahead.
definition on it, Charles, Brother Barron. You know, somebody asked Malcolm X, said, Brother Minister Malcolm X, what do you mean by black nationalism? And to just capitalize what you said, he said, you must control the land, labor, and resources, the economic, politics, and culture where you live. We control none of that where we live. And that just capsulizes it. And when we think of it, here we're expected to spend $2 trillion this year in consumer dollars. We control no land, we control no labor, we control no resources. We do not control the economics, the politics, or the culture where we live. All right, and then we, by definition, we can't even call where we live communities, because communities presuppose that you control those things.
Absolutely.
That's right.
We are neighborhoods in capitalistic colonial communities.
Go ahead now. That's what I'm talking about.
And so if we clear on these little definitions, it'll help us to see what the problem is.
That's right.
And we won't get blinded by black colonialists or neo-colonialists. Because that didn't wrong us in New York State. They're blinded. Right.
Okay, so that's the gist. We exist in domestic colonies here in America. As far as those of us who are melanated African descendants and or black people in this country, we are behind enemy lines, and we will never be able to reverse these domestic colonies into real communities that have influence, value, and power if we don't control the finances in those spaces, or at least a majority of them. And we simply can't do that if other people are running the businesses where we live and where we exist. So I am on one hand, I'm pleased to say that if everyone gave their $5 at the end of this campaign, we'd have a little over 600 people giving their $5. But of course, that is a long way from where we need to be. So if you've watched the video, the initial video that I made, you've completed the application, thank you for that. I now need you to refer one person, ideally one person a day for the next 28 days. If I've asked you to watch the video and you haven't, if you have, but you haven't completed the application, please do that. If I've asked you to watch the video and you haven't watched the video, which means you haven't completed the application, please do that. This is a very, 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 very simple way for us to, again, capitalize on energy that's already been created, for us to maximize our people being on the same page at the same time about the same thing. It's an opportunity for us to bring together a large number of our people, then identify those that are ready to go to the next level. And more importantly, as it relates to this aspect of what we're trying to do, it is a very simple and easy way for us to generate enough capital to start realistically making moves in certain spaces to get these people out of businesses in our community so that we can own and control them. And as I have said repeatedly, which I will continue to say, this is not personal. This is not anti-Asian. Black people, by our nature, we're not anti. We've been through too much. We know what it's like to be anti. That's not how we roll. This is business. This is about survival. And again, we simply can't afford to continue to give multiple millions of dollars away to other people. They take those millions, understandably so, back to their communities to make their communities bigger, better, and stronger, to build wealth for their families, while we continue to exist in third world, fourth world country type spaces and have to deal with everything that America has put us through and is still putting us through with no capital to really do anything about these issues. A lot of people like to say that our community, our people have a lot of problems. We only have two problems. One, the existence of white supremacy, racism, other people having power, because if they have the power, they can do what they want to do, and our lack of power. Two problems: their power and our lack of power. If we can garner more economic and financial resources, then we can start putting things in place to build the power that we need, so their power won't be so much of a big deal, because we'll be able to push back and meet that with our own power. So that is it. I just wanted to give a quick update as to where we are. We're a little over 600, which is good, but it's a far cry from where we need to be. I'm going to start sending emails to the content creators to try and get a cadre of them, and I don't need a bunch of them. All I need is a handful to move this thing to the next level. I am going to start building a mastermind team of 10 to 15 people who can help me accelerate this thing further, because God knows I need more than just me. And then we'll continue to put this thing out there. At some point, we'll probably transition from using the term elevate the boycott and just move forward with blockout, buyout, and build up, because that's going to die down as it's already begun to do so. So with that, thank you guys very much for being here. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, you can always post in the message below this video, or you can always email me at theblackgoldnation at gmail.com. Or you can call or text 832-239-7431, Brother Tamani. So always remember two things. No one can do everything, but if everyone does something, everything will get done. And always remember that nothing is more sacred. Not you, not me, your family, my family, your kids, my kids. Nothing is more sacred than the empowerment and freedom of Black people, because if Black people don't make it, you're not going to make it, I'm not going to make it, our kids nor our families are going to make it. But if we put the group first, if we put the tribe first, if we build power for the nation first, the nation can protect the people, and then the people can move forward and be free, and we can get back to running the planet as we used to back in the day. The world is out of balance because African people, we are out of balance, and we keep that balance in place, because that's who we are. So thank you guys very much, and I will see you in a few days with another update. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.